Before I start, I want to give God honor and credit for being the head of my life and thank him for his only begotten son dying for our sins. Now, the truth about McDonald's and fast food chains. The word of God tells us not to judge a person in this dispensation by what they eat or what they choose not to eat. It also states that it is not what goes in a man's mouth that defiles him, but it is what comes out that defileth the man. So I'm not here to bash you concerning your food of choice. I am only here to open your eyes to a few things. There are hundreds of thousands of fast food chains in the US alone. And I've always been asking myself, how in the world do they continue to pump food into these places so fast on a regular basis, never skipping a beat, and have so much coming in that they waste it and throw most of it away throughout the day? And let's not even talk about how much they throw away at the end of the day. First, let's look at the facts.
Ma'am, he didn't ask me for money. By the way, you guys suck for letting a homeless man, he didn't even ask me for food. You guys suck. You guys suck. I'll never be back here. You guys suck. He didn't even ask me for food. I brought him from outside. You guys suck.
There is projected to be 31 million beef cows in the US. Only about 20 million of those are ready for slaughter or fully grown. Now, if each cow weighs around 1,500 pounds, we must do 1,500 times 20 million, and we get 30 billion pounds of beef that the US has on hand per year. And the reason why I say per year is because it takes a cow 2 years to grow to the age to be prepared for slaughter. Alright, now, when we go by stats, McDonald's itself feeds about 68 million people per day through the 37,000 stores they have worldwide. If each 68 million people who they feed on the average gets a pound of beef, then that would total to 68 million pounds. So times 68 million by 365 days in a year, and you get right at 25 billion pounds of beef used per year by McDonald's alone. So check this. If McDonald's uses 25 billion of the 30 billion available, then we have a problem.
And say again, please. Houston, we have a problem.
Because we haven't factored in the other 100,000 fast food chains, the restaurants, the grocery stores across the United States. Basically what I'm saying is, where do they get so much beef from if there isn't enough to go around? And the answer is easy. We're in a famine, and they are making it stretch. It's like growing up in the hood and the milk in the jug gets low and you put water in it and shake it up to make it stretch.
What are you doing? I'm throwing this away. We ain't even got no milk. You better put some water on it. Alright, I'll eat it.
I'm here to tell you all right now, I don't think that anyone has eaten 100% real beef patty from any fast food joint, and you can count on that. When you go to these fast food restaurants, you are eating only about 5% real beef. The rest is non-beef products such as deer meat, worms, and it may sound crazy, but also human flesh. I am not pulling these components out of thin air. There are actual case files pertaining to all these elements they caught these corporations using over time.
Burger King and their all-beef patties. It turns out their all-beef patties included traces of pork and horse meat. Right. So I don't even understand how this happened, but actually I do understand how it happened. The supplier in this case was looking to put filler into the all-beef patties, and the filler in this case ended up being pork and horse meat.
The inspectors also found human meat in several trucks on their way to deliver the burgers to the fast food restaurants. There are reports which suggest that upon inspecting McDonald's factories and food restaurants throughout the country, food authorities found human meat in 90% of the locations, while horse meat was found in 65% of the locations.
And why do you think none of these beef patties taste the same? Beef is supposed to taste like beef, right? I know I got fast food lovers out there who like, well,
shows and they all use different ingredients. They all got their different styles.
Well, I'm going to tell you the ingredients. GMO, which is genetically modified organisms, steroids, disease-making chemicals, horse meat, worms, and human flesh. They got to make it stretch. They also clone meat with a cloning process. And they have to keep injecting the cows with steroids and other chemicals to speed up the growth process. And when we as humans eat this crap, we swell up because we are intaking the same chemicals that the cow carried around. This is why a lot of young girls on these fast food diets walk around with the bodies of adult women, because they too are progressing faster than normal. The same way the cows did. The same product is entering the human body. I am speaking also from personal experience as well. Although I worked at a chicken factory a while back and not a cow business or a cow slaughtering business, I still was able to see how the process was ran. And you'll be amazed at what they are doing to your food. They showed you how they put the chemicals in the meat and all that in the movie Good Burger. McDonald's was recently caught lying on their product because they had labels on it that claimed it was 100% beef. But some truthers went to digging and found out they were scheming because their meat wasn't 100% beef. They were just buying a little meat from a company called 100% beef. So they were lying to the public in a slick way, because they would take that little bit of meat, send it to another location where it was stretched to the max with non-beef ingredients. So much pressure was put on McDonald's that they did a YouTube video to debunk the theory. Now, what will make $1 trillion industry corporation do a YouTube video to debunk some little old YouTubers if it wasn't true? They know it was true. So they had the company 100% Beef take on a sub name. That's all they did, an alias name. And they hid behind the alias name because the last thing they want to come out and tell you is they serve you human flesh. They serve you horse meat. They serve you worms. They serve you GMO food. How and why would a lucrative business expose themselves when they have money to make, right? Businessmen.
Down on the pre-search results, there are no results found for a company or a business name or a trademark called 100% Pure Beef.
Perfect. So would you say that's definitive, that there is no company called 100% Pure Beef in Canada?
As of today, yes.
Great, thank you. So what we should do then is let's put this in an envelope and get that mailed out to John. So John, we're heading to the mailbox. We're going to put this in. Hopefully you'll get it in a couple of days. No company called 100% Pure Beef.
Since a lot of bottom feeders are waking up and no longer get all these flu shots and these other vaccines that they tell you to get, they now put a lot of the diseases and sicknesses in the burgers, the fast food joints. When you learn that all these corporations scratch each other's back, then you will fully wake up. Picture the owner of McDonald's and the owner of CVS playing golf. Because we all know that big chess moves are discussed during golf games, right? The owner of CVS might say, "Hey, our sales are getting low, man. Do you mind helping us out a bit, Chuck?" And then Chuck, the McDonald's owner, he'll say, "No problem. We will inject the next batch of burgers with diseases. Just give it a little while to set in and you should have more business in no time." We need to realize that sick people and the Department of Illness is $1 trillion corporation in itself. Sick people mean business for hospitals, business for CVS, business for a lot of people. Just like you have friends in your workplace, they also have friends in the business of sucking every dime from you that they can. At the same time, working you like a workhorse up until you are too old to get out the bed. And then, they no longer have a need for you. Remember, Donald Trump showed all those burgers recently at the White House? Now, why would a president serve burgers at a White House, y'all? It's not because he was cool. It was slick promotion. The thing is, we didn't see anyone eat anything. It was only a production to make more bottom feeders intake this garbage. Like, hey, if the president likes burgers, then I will feel better when I buy one. Like president, like sheep. Just like Jasmine Barnes' mom was promoting Joe V so hard the day they let the world know about the baby sacrifice.
And I only usually shop at Walmart when I go get toys and things like that. And the Joe V's is more, bundles of food. So I have a large family. So, and I was just going to get coffee, and they sell the big things of coffee Folgers that my 87-year-old uncle loves, So We was going to the Joe's to get that so we could have coffee. Looked over to my 14-year-old, and I was like, "Can we pass up the Joe's?" You know, and she was like, "Mama, I don't think so." You know, and I was like, "Well, they go to Walmart right there," and I was like, "Oh, there's a Walmart." I said, "So Joe's is going to be the life after the Walmart."
Slick promotion. That's all it is. At least 2.8 million people currently die annually from conditions strongly linked to overweight and obesity, such as coronary heart disease, ischemia, which is brain stroke, and diabetes. It is also noted that people who regularly eat at these fast food places, they double their chances of dying from chronic liver disease. Funny thing is, you don't see the wealthy eating this. They only feed it to who they deem as bottom feeders. But when will we stand and demand that they either push real food into the society or just give us all our own land and let us grow and manage our own? It's a shame that people have more faith in this system than Jesus Christ. Turn to Jesus and you shall be saved. We are in a famine. The real food is shipped to the island dwellers and the so-called elites in this world. They give you like 5% beef and mix in all kinds of stuff with it to make it stretch, because these money-hungry coons don't care if they have to feed you plastic between two pieces of bread. They'll do just that and make a commercial to try to prove to you that the plastic is delicious. And if you're a slave to the system 100%, you'll eat that plastic and thank your masters while you're doing it.